Hello, everybody. I'm Kobo Chasco, and welcome to Beyond the Scuttlebutt. Thanks for joining. You having a good day? I'm having a fantastic time. A little hot, but that's expected. Well, we have two stories from the Daily Mail. I only got 15 minutes, but before we get into it, we're going to have ourselves a little safety meeting. In order to have a safety meeting Chasco style, you need a bowl and herb of your choice. Now, I don't encourage anybody to partake because that's illegal. But if you do, you do you. I'll do me. All right, without further ado. All right, so get over to the Daily Mail. So, Biden's got the war machine back in action. U.S. launches airstrikes on three facilities used by Iran-backed militia groups in Syria and Iraq in response to drone attacks on American personnel and bases. Strikes were launched by U.S. military Sunday night and targeted two facilities in Syria as well as one in Iraq. Targeted operations and weapons storage along Iraq-Syria border with U.S. Air Force F-15 and F-16 jets. It's unclear if anyone was killed or injured in the strikes. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby announced the military action. Kirby said facilities were involved in drone attacks on U.S. personnel and facilities in Iraq. U.S. military sources told Fox News a lot of casualties are expected. American jets returned to base unhindered. Oh, yeah, that's right, guys and girls. We are back at war. At least got the war machine greasing up, anyways. I'm not for it. I mean, I was in the Marine Corps. But that was a different time. All right. The United States has launched what it says are defensive airstrikes against Iran backed militant groups along the Iraq Syria border. Pentagon Press Secretary John Kirby said the precision strikes had been launched at the behest of President Biden on Sunday evening. President Biden? I don't think so. Presidential placeholder Biden? Maybe. Two targets were attacked in Syria, with the third also bombed in Iraq. Kirby added that multiple Iran-backed militant groups included Qaeda Hezbollah and Qaeda Sayyid al-Shara had been targeted. U.S. Air Force F-15 and F-16 jets were used to carry out the strikes and return to base without incident afterwards. Kirby said the targets has been chosen because they had previously launched drone strikes against U.S. personnel and bases in Iraq used rudimentary unmanned aerial vehicle. It is unclear if anyone was injured or killed in those strikes, although a military source told Fox News many casualties were expected because the strikes took place at a time of day when the targets were particularly active. President Biden returned to the White House from Camp David on Sunday evening and answered tomorrow when asked reporters to comment on the strikes. Of course, he says tomorrow. He's got to get his flashcards ready, got to get the teleprompter ready, got to get the earpiece guy ready. I mean, this is like a full Hollywood movie budget just to get this guy out there. I digress. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi claimed the strikes were a proportionate response to a serious and specific threat. She added the Iran-backed militants utilizing these facilities had been engaged in strikes threatening U.S. service members. But yes, guys, we are definitely getting back into some war. We had that one incident, February 25th. We did a little attacking, and now we're getting back to it. Everybody knows how Biden likes it. Remember the war in Iraq? Still there. Just saying. Well, now we got to get to a Even darker story, unfortunately. The Miami Condo Tower. Very tragic incident. So this story really surprised me. Well, not really surprised me, but is kind of shocking. Revealed developers of Doom Miami Condo Tower were accused of paying off officials to get permits, as Miami urges inspections of all buildings taller than 6 stories and over 40 years old within 45 days. I mean, this is true. These developers and all of them need to go to prison. They need to be charged. 159 people are still missing, unaccounted for. 9 confirmed dead. And I don't think it's going to get any better than that. And these people, with their negligence, you know what? Let me just finish reading. Sorry, I get a little ahead of myself sometimes. Developers of Miami Tower that collapsed was previously accused of building rivals of paying off officials to get permits, according to a Washington Post investigation. The developers bypassed a construction moratorium in 1979 by agreeing to pick up half of the $400,000 sewer repair tab. Now, this was 1979, right? The building was finished in 1981. Now, this is the same time frame in Miami-Dade as the Cocaine Cowboys. Miami was being developed by tons of drug money. So I can see him cutting a lot of corners back then. And obviously it shows here now. But let's get back into more. Other developers whose projects were still stalled believe the tower's developers were getting preferential treatment and accused of them paying off officials in campaign donations. As of Sunday night, 9 people were confirmed dead, and 152 are still unaccounted for after the Champagne Tower South condo building collapsed in Surfside. The tower is about to undergo a $50 million renovation project to pass a required 40-year certification before it collapsed. It collapsed has prompted the city of Miami to urge condo owners to carry out structure inspections on all towers over 6 stories in the next 45 days. To be honest, there shouldn't be any buildings over 6 stories in Florida. It's all sand. There's not much holding it. It doesn't. This ain't New York, all right? Sand and swamps. That's what Florida's is. A consultant engineer warned back in October 2018 that the building was in need of numerous repairs around the base of the structure in a timely fashion. See, they need to stop using that in a timely fashion. This ain't a car, all right? They need to be like, it needs fixed now in a timely fashion. Come on, man. Structure field surveys specifically raised concerns about the pool deck area and underground parking garage. Waterproofing was failing in the pool deck, causing major structure damage on the concrete slab below. This parking garage, some of which lay beneath the pool area, had abundant cracking and spalling. The report does not warn that the building was at risk of collapse, but says repairs would help in maintaining the structural integrity of the building, which is almost the same thing. An attorney for the resident-led condo association said repairs were about to begin 2.5 years later. 2.5 years, way too late. The report was released by officials overnight Friday as questions swirled over what caused the collapse. Miami-Dade Mayor Danielle Levine Capa vowed to get to the bottom of what happened. The mayor of Surfside called the evacuation of residents living in blocks sisters buildings. More than 48 hours on from Thursday's disaster, 159 people are still unaccounted for. This is a terrible, terrible tragedy that was unavoidable. I mean, it was avoidable, but because of negligence and people's greed, this is where we're at. And it reminds me of 9/11 because And don't hear me out, not in a terrorist way. I'm talking about I'm hoping that there's more survivors. Because remember in 9/11, that was towers fell. There were still many survivors that got out alive, more than you would expect. It's a miracle, but it happened. I'm praying that this happens now. This is a very tragic event. Every day I'm reading more and more stories about who's lost, who's missing, and the few that died. I'm just hoping that, the people responsible for this are charged and they lose everything that they hold dear, just like the people under that rubble and their families. Sad, but honestly, that's all I got today, y'all. If you like the video, give it a like, give me a comment, let me know what you think. If you like the mic or not, I really would like to know. Um, yeah. Well, y'all have a great day, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, I'll be right down as soon as I find my lighter. Oh, you guys are still here? Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in to Beyond the Scuttlebutt. Really appreciate it. If you like what you saw, go ahead and smash that like button for me. If you're new to the channel, you can always subscribe. Would appreciate that as well. And also go ahead, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Got any suggestions? I'm open to them. All right. Y'all have a good one.